Hello everyone and welcome to HackerTV, our in-house podcast for Rajasthan's biggest hackathon AceHack. और इस साल हम लोग ला रहे हैं AceHack का फोर्थ एडिशन दैट इज AceHack 4.0. हमने हैकाथन ऑलरेडी लॉन्च कर दिया है एंड थीम भी अनाउंस कर दिया है जो कि है साइबरपंक which is very interesting, so please go ahead and check that out. And registrations are going on right now and will be open till the 5th of February. So please register your teams as soon as possible ताकि you don't miss out on all the fun that we are going to have. And if you have any doubts or any queries regarding registration or anything related to ASAC, please join our Discord server ताकि हमारी team can get back to you and solve your problems as soon as possible. And also do not forget to follow us on social media so that you don't miss out on anything for this amazing 24-hour hackathon experience where you'll not only code and build, but also innovate, elevate, and transform your levels to the next year. I'm your host, Biraj, and this is the 15th episode of Hacker TV. Our guest today is a senior data engineer who also handles cloud infrastructure at NetApp India, Mr. Anand Jha. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello, Viraj. Hello, Viraj. Yeah,
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
yeah, I'm great. I'm totally great. I'm very much excited to talk to you today.
So am I, sir. So am I. So, to kick things off, can you introduce yourself and tell us how you got started with the cloud computing and what was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, definitely. So before I introduce myself, let me congratulate you all for organizing such an amazing event.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
During our time, like almost 20, I mean, not 20, 12 to 15 years back when we were in college, we had not these opportunities very often. Yeah,
Right.
we had these opportunities, but these days I find that, yeah, you guys are having lot of exposures. You keep organizing all such events so that uh, students get an idea and they have the clear path in front of them. So congratulations once again
Thank you
for
very much, sir.
organizing such an wonderful event. And now coming to my introduction, as you said, I'm Anand, and I'm based out of Bihar, small city, Jhanjharpur, in Bihar. And I started my career as an IT professional way back in 2013. So earlier, like I completed my BTech from one of the wonderful college in Chennai, so Vinayaka Mission Engineering College. And I was, since 11th and 12th standard itself, I was much into coding. So I was learning C++ in my 11th and 12th standard. Though my other subjects were not good at that time, but yeah, I was very keen. I had that keen interest in this subject. So after that I had opportunity to opt for engineering, where I opted for computer science, and this was the best decision I have ever made, let me tell you, because I had opportunity at that time. I got to know that there are other branches as well, which will which are parallelly good. So, and
Right.
in fact they are good, but
Right.
as per my interest, I was in love with computer and I chose computer science. And this paid me off actually. During my college time, whatever professor taught us, we I learned that, and I had put in extra effort, though these opportunities were not there much often. But yeah, I put in extra effort, and then I learned of my own Java and Python little bit. At that time Python was not at that much, at its peak. So yeah, coming to my career in 2013, I passed out from college and then started working as a software developer. So first 5 years I was into completely Java domain. So where I was developing few of the softwares in Java. But at that time, the here what see okay, first of all, let me tell you that if I'm sharing the journey of my, the past 10, 12 years. So I want you to pick few of the things from here and there.
Definitely.
Yeah. So after 5 years, though I was into Java domain, but I was looking for things which are, like exponentially increasing day by day. So
Right.
at that time, though the softwares were not at that much data centered.
Yeah.
Lekin I was completely in love with data at that time itself. So somehow after 5 years, I got an wonderful opportunity to work in AI domain, one of the startup called Quantela. It has different projects of making a city smart, convert the city into smart city. So though I was not into Python, but yeah, as you know that startup is the best way to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I worked there. I learned of my own. I did hell lot of mistakes in coding and all. But yeah, that was the learning process. And then after 2 years, then I thought that yeah, now let me switch into some of the MNCs which has very good project. And then 5 years before, I just joined NetApp. And NetApp is a wonderful company which gives you all the opportunity which you want. So currently I am working as a senior data engineer. I'm handling a team which handles the cloud infrastructure. So yeah, this was all about my journey. Now again, throughout the journey, I told you that I was in love with the data, and that's
Yeah.
why that kept inspiring me to move into cloud. Because if you are into data domain, some way or the other, आपको जाना ही पड़ेगा. You have to go
Huh.
to cloud
Yeah.
infrastructure. Yeah,
That was actually very interesting and also inspiring. And I think all of us should take away a lot from your story because हम लोग भी यहाँ पे सब लोग technical students हैं.
yeah,
So thank you for sharing your journey with us. Now, cloud infrastructure and cloud technologies, आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा popular है, right? तो you told us how you got inspired and how you really dove into the world of cloud technologies. तो मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि आज की डेट में where cloud technology is right now, what exactly excites you about it, in today's date कि आज cloud technology जहाँ पे है शायद पहले उतनी एडवांस्ड नहीं थी, तो आज के टाइम पे आपको ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ है क्लाउड टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में जो सबसे ज़्यादा एक्साइट करती हो?
so cloud टेक्नोलॉजी का सबसे बेस्ट पार्ट विच मुझे मुझे लगता है कि you give free hands to developers. Okay,
ओके,
so 12 20 years back, 30 years back, अगर आप डेवलपर हो तो you have to do all of those things. You have to set up the infrastructure. You have to set up your platform where you will be writing the code, running the code, testing, and all sorts of things.
राइट,
Then you have to uh, create a complete package of whatever you are building, right?
या
So
डेफिनेटली,
as a developer you had to take hell lot of things, and उसमें आपकी एनर्जी जाती थी. You sometimes you were not focusing on the code. So कभी in fact my first 2-3 years, जब मैं क्लाउड में नहीं था, जब मैं डेटा डोमेन में नहीं था, मैं सिंपली जावा कोडिंग यूज करके एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप करता था. एट दैट टाइम व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इज मुझे ही सब कुछ करना पड़ता था. आई मीन मुझे इन द सेंस माय टीम. सो मेरे टीम को एक महीने ऐसे होते थे कि जहां पे हम लोग 15-15 दिन कोडिंग नहीं करते थे. वी जस्ट हैड टू फोकस ऑन हमारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कैसा होगा, हाउ रोबस्ट आवर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज, हाउ मच सिक्योरिटी इट हैज, ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स अ डेवलपर हैज टू टेक केयर ऑफ.
राइट,
बट नाउ एज एंड स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली जब हम लोग मूव कर रहे हैं क्लाउड पे, तो क्लाउड अभी जैसे मैं क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हैंडल कर रहा हूं, तो आई एम गिविंग फ्री हैंड टू डेवलपर. आप जिसमें अच्छे हो, यू आर गुड एट कोडिंग, यू जस्ट फोकस ऑन कोडिंग,
राइट,
रेस्ट गिव इट टू अस. सो आई विल हैंडल द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. आप हमें बता दो कि आप जो एप्लीकेशन बना रहे हो या जो भी बना रहे हो, what you need basically. So based on that we will be providing you the infrastructure platform and whatever you need. So ये सबसे fascinating लगता है कि हम डेवलपर को फ्री हैंड दे रहे हैं कि बॉस you are the one who has to develop, और आप वही काम करो. Yeah.
हाँ, एक्चुअली मुझे भी काफ़ी अच्छा लगा ये सुन के बिकॉज़ आई थिंक कि बहुत ज़्यादा फ्रीडम मिलता है लोगों को अपना स्किल सेट एक्चुअली प्रॉपर्ली
Correct.
शो करने के लिए,
Correct.
व्हिच आई थिंक व्हिच आई थिंक शुड बी यू नो प्रिवेलेंट एवरीवेयर.
Yes,
तो
yes.
नाउ एसेंशियली हम लोग यहाँ पे हैकाथॉन्स की बात करने वाले हैं बिकॉज वी आर कंडक्टिंग दिस फॉर आवर हैकाथॉन एसैक 4.0. नाउ हैकाथॉन में भी आजकल ऐसा काफ़ी प्रोजेक्ट्स में दिखता है कि पीपल आर मेकिंग क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स, सम प्रोजेक्ट रिलेटेड टू क्लाउड टेक्नोलॉजी. तो अगर आपको कोई एडवाइस देना हो टू दोज पीपल हु आर डूइंग सम प्रोजेक्ट ऑन क्लाउड, सो व्हाट स्ट्रेटजीज वुड यू रिकमेंड फॉर effectively setting up cloud infrastructure during a hackathon जहाँ पे टाइम क्रंच भी होता है काफी?
या तो सबसे पहले मेरा पहला एडवाइस काइंड ऑफ इट्स नॉट एन एडवाइस फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन अगेन टू दोज गाइज हु आर पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन हैकाथॉन
Yeah.
आपको क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर यूज करने का अर्ली एक्सेस मिल रहा है
Yeah.
so it's not like कि once you are into your career path आप क्लाउड में जा रहे हो, you are into college and then आप एक प्रोजेक्ट डेवलप कर रहे हो, it's a POC kind of thing, आप जो है आपको अभी से ही क्लाउड के बारे में जानने का मौका मिल रहा है, तो विच इज वेरी गुड। और हाँ, कमिंग टू एडवाइस पार्ट, तो मुझे आपको यही एडवाइस देना है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू बिल्ड। So
Right.
the very first thing, because see, cloud infrastructure comes later. The first and foremost thing which you have to concentrate on कि आप क्या डेवलप कर रहे हो, आपका प्रोजेक्ट क्या, what is the solution which you are trying to provide, okay?
Right.
और उस सॉल्यूशन में लेट्स से कि आप just for sake of training and let's say कि आप AWS, there are three major giants in cloud, AWS, Google and then Azure, Microsoft.
Yeah.
तो आप देखोगे कि आप किस में थोड़ा बहुत फैमिलियर हो। अगर आप Amazon में थोड़ा बहुत फैमिलियर हो या गूगल में या माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में, तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू हैव टू चूज कि आप कौन सा प्लेटफॉर्म यूज कर रहे हो, आपका प्रोजेक्ट का रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है। So let's say कि your project needs a very robust infrastructure. Let's say कि आप एक हैकाथॉन का प्रोजेक्ट डेवलप कर रहे हो, comparatively it needs let's say 32 GB और 100 GB of RAM, और तो ये आप पहले डिसाइड करोगे, दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू डिसाइड फर्स्ट। उसके बाद आप जो है अपना बिफोर यू स्टार्ट योर हैकाथॉन आप अपना फ्री अकाउंट बनाओगे हैकाथॉन में, बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ प्रोसेस, देयर आर फ्री टियर, देयर आर पेड वर्जन ऑफ इट। सो अगर आपका हैकाथॉन, आपका प्रोजेक्ट एक ऐसा सॉल्यूशन ढूंढ रहा है जिसमें कि you have to purchase some of the services from cloud, so ये आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा पहले। तो आपको अकाउंट बनाना पड़ेगा, देन आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि आपका प्रोजेक्ट का सॉल्यूशन क्या है, एंड आप किस among these three, apart from that there are some other companies which provides cloud infrastructure, तो आप किस में ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल हो, because you'll get, as you told, you'll get a very minimum time for completing your project, right?
बिल्कुल।
and इसमें it's a pay as you go method है। तो आपको ये डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि अगर हमारा प्रोजेक्ट कितने टाइम के लिए चल रहा है, तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट अगेन you will have to set your requirements। तो ये सजेस्ट मैं करूंगा कि आपको ये सब सारा चीज पहले आपको लिस्ट आउट करना है, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग, एंड साइड बाय साइड आप अपने लेट्स से कि आप एक 2 मेंबर हो, 3 मेंबर हो, तो एक बंदा कंप्लीटली इन शुड बी फोकसिंग ऑन ऑल दीज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर्स।
Definitely. So, as long as we're on the subject of cloud computing in hackathons, I want also to know what is the most critical aspect of leveraging cloud computing for making a successful and a scalable hackathon project, क्योंकि काफी टाइम scalability का भी काफी issue हो जाता है while you're handling such a project.
तो यहाँ पे मैं एक वंडरफुल एग्जांपल लूंगा, दिस आई गेस इन फैक्ट इंडिया में एंड अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड 9 out of 10 people are using Amazon, like, right? And then music sites, let's say Spotify or other YouTubes and all. तो आप कभी भी इन सारे वेब एप्लीकेशन को डाउन देखते हो? Does it crash very often? No, you will not find them crashing. लेकिन and at the same time they bring all the new features every other day, right? तो डेवलपर लेट्स से कि काम कर रहा है कि न्यू फीचर डेवलप करने में, एंड देन दे आर साइमल्टेनियसली दे आर टेस्टिंग। तो अब ऐसा कैसे पॉसिबल है कि वो फीचर्स विदाउट ब्रिंगिंग डाउन द एप्लीकेशन, दोज न्यू फीचर्स आर इनटू प्रोडक्शन, live for the customers to be used, right?
Right.
तो यहाँ पे स्केलेबिलिटी का बहुत क्रिटिकल मेन इनफैक्ट क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का मैं बताऊंगा कि इट्स अ स्केलेबिलिटी,
Yeah.
कि अगर आप कोई ऐसा एप्लीकेशन डेवलप कर रहे हो जहाँ पे यू वांट टू हैव अ ह्यूज यूजर बेस, वहां पे आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा कि हाउ मच स्केलेबल योर प्रोजेक्ट कुड बी, एप्लीकेशन कुड बी। तो उसके लिए आपको क्लाउड में जाना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज it provides you a wonderful opportunity to scale your application without bringing your application on, which I guess will come to later part, जब आप Kubernetes and orchestration
हाँ.
discuss करेंगे हम लोग। तो ये scalability wonderfully it provides you। और उसके अलावा see at the end, if you are running some, if you are developing something, at the end you want some revenue out of it, right?
Right.
Amazon
Of course.
wants revenue, Spotify generates revenue। so आप revenue कैसे generate होगा कि let's say आपका जो profit है, the total expense, आई मीन टोटल अर्निंग माइनस टोटल एक्सपेंस, ये
Yeah.
लॉजिकल मैथमेटिकल है, मैथमेटिक्स है। तो आप कितना एक्सपेंड कर रहे हो, तो कितना, इनफैक्ट यू हैव टू बी वेरी कॉन्साइज ऑन कि हम कितना मिनिमम से मिनिमम एक्सपेंडिचर करें, हैविंग मैक्सिमम टू मैक्सिमम फिजिबिलिटी,
Right.
फंक्शनैलिटी।
Hmm.
तो आपको कॉस्ट भी देखना पड़ेगा। तो स्केलेबिलिटी एक हो गया, देन कॉस्ट एफिशिएंसी अनदर एडवांटेज विच क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गिव्स यू। सो और उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी, यस।
Yeah.
अगर मान लीजिए लेट्स से कि अमेजोन और आप एज ए कस्टमर आप जा रहे हो अमेजोन पे, स्पॉटिफाई पे, और समवे और अदर लेट्स से कि योर अकाउंट गेट्स हैक्ड, आप, it's most unlikely that you will find your account hacked in Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Because they are more secure. So all of security, scalability, cost efficiency, all of these things are the most critical aspects once you are focusing on going into cloud domain infrastructure, yeah।
हाँ, तो इट वाज अ वंडरफुल इनसाइट फ्रॉम यू एंड आई एम श्योर हमारे जो हैकर्स और पार्टिसिपेंट्स आने वाले हैं यहाँ पे AceHack 4.0 में विल पुट ऑल ऑफ दिस एडवाइस इनटू गुड यूज इफ दे आर building a cloud based project. Now when cloud computing comes into the picture, जब कोई बिगिनर या फिर कोई भी इंसान जब क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग की बात सुनता है, एक चीज दिमाग में जो आता है दैट इज सर्वरलेस कंप्यूटिंग। तो I want to know कि how would you explain this concept of serverless computing to an absolute beginner?
Yeah.
And I also want to know from you कि why exactly is this entire concept of cloud computation and serverless computing gaining so much popularity these days?
ओके, सो मैं इन लेमैन वेरी वेरी बेसिक वे में बताऊंगा कि लेट्स से यू आर अ डेवलपर। आज आज
Yeah,
आपके आप एक कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टूडेंट हो, आपके पास लैपटॉप है। सो
right.
लैपटॉप इज नथिंग बट अ सर्वर,
Of
right?
course.
It is
Yeah,
a server. It has few configurations. It has RAM, it has storage, it has the processing power, everything. It has CPU. So
yeah,
it's a server which you have, you own it। तो आप अगर छोटा सा छोटा प्रोजेक्ट डेवलप करते हो, तो यू हैव टू, यू आर डेवलपिंग ऑन योर सर्वर, राइट? ऑन योर
right.
सर्वर। तो
Yeah,
आपको आपको ये लैपटॉप होना मांगता है, लाइक
हाँ,
आप आपके पास अगर लैपटॉप नहीं हुआ, आपके पास सर्वर नहीं हुआ, तो यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू डेवलप,
yeah,
राइट? तो सेम वे अगर लेट्स से आप एक बड़े बड़े से एप्लीकेशन को डिजाइन किए, डेवलप किए, और उसके बाद आप उसको ऑब्वियसली यूजर के पास ले जाना चाहेंगे, तो
yeah,
हाउ यू योर कम, व्हाई यू आर गोइंग टू द सर्वर online? Because your computer has not that much efficient configurations, right?
right.
तो तभी आप क्लाउड पे जा रहे हैं, या एक एक रोबस्ट सर्वर पे जा रहे हैं जो कि जिसका कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इज वेरी हाई, राइट? तो अब मैं ये बता रहा हूं कि अगर लेट्स से कि आपको ये बता दिया जाए कि आप अपने कोडिंग पे फोकस करो, आप अपने डिजाइन पे फोकस करो, आप क्या अचीव करना चाह रहे हो उस पे फोकस करो। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, आपका सर्वर का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्या होगा, प्लेटफॉर्म क्या होगा, आई एम गोइंग टू हैंडल इट। तो
Yeah,
this makes much more sense, right? Otherwise you will have to look into all those constraints कि आपको सर्वर भी देखना है। तो सर्वरलेस कंप्यूटिंग मींस यही है कि डेवलपर without going into much detail of what needs to be the configuration of my server, आप कौन से क्लाउड पे जाएंगे, without going into all of those things, developer focus on the coding part, and then cloud infrastructure, cloud owner provides them the server, and this is called serverless, because a developer does not know this
Yeah,
server sense. ये जो सर्वर कॉन्सेप्ट है एक एब्स्ट्रैक्ट है डेवलपर के लिए, उसको
जी
पता ही नहीं
बिल्कुल।
है कि मतलब हाँ क्या कॉन्फ़िगरेशन एट द बैक एंड चल रहा है।
राइट एग्जैक्टली एंड आई थिंक आपने बहुत अमेजिंग वे में ये एक्सप्लेन किया बिकॉज एक बिगिनर को एक्सप्लेन करना अबाउट सच अ सच एन इंट्रिकेट कॉन्सेप्ट
या
कैन बी ट्रिकी फॉर एनीवन दीज डेज
करेक्ट
बट
करेक्ट।
आई लव दैट एक्सप्लेनेशन सो थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दैट नाउ जैसे कि आपने पहले मेंशन किया अबाउट क्यूबरनेटिस तो मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि व्हाट रोल डज कंटेनर्स एंड अदर सच ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन tools like Kubernetes play in the modern era of cloud computing? What
Yeah.
exactly is their purpose?
Okay. So wonderful question actually, and let me take this opportunity with this question. Let me take this opportunity to tell you that मैं recently अभी 2 महीने पहले certified Kubernetes administrator that exam I got passed.
That is
और
amazing, sir.
yes,
Congratulations.
thank you very much. और now this whole topic, this Kubernetes, this containerization, then orchestration, in fact yahi mere I'm in love with these concepts actually. In अगर देखिए एक cloud infrastructure, it is a vast thing, right? It is a ocean. उसमें से मुझे जिससे प्यार है वो Kubernetes है, as simple as that. तो अब मैं ये बता रहा हूँ कि इसका क्या रोल है। जैसा कि मैंने आपको 2 या 3 क्वेश्चन पहले आई वाज एक्सप्लेनिंग कि आप किसी वेब एप्लीकेशन को, किसी भी अमेजोन, स्पॉटिफाई को आप कभी डाउन नहीं देखते हो।
Right.
हाउ एट द बैकग्राउंड, हाउ डज इट हैपन? लेट्स एज्यूम कि आप, अगेन आई विल टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ लैपटॉप. You have one laptop, that means you have one server, right?
Yes.
You have one server, and let's say you are running your application on one server, okay? And then suddenly your laptop gets switched off, or some
Mm.
किसी भी कारण से your laptop gets crashed. इसका मतलब हुआ कि आपका application gone for a toss,
Right.
right? So the user who is trying to access will not be able to access. तो
Hmm.
ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है कि आपके पास डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सर्वर्स होना चाहिए, राइट? आपके पास 5 लैपटॉप होना चाहिए, एंड उस पांचों लैप ऑल दोस 5 लैपटॉप्स यू हैव टू रन द सेम एप्लीकेशंस, राइट?
Right.
अब यहाँ पे if you are running 5 applications on 5 laptops, or five, why I'm telling you laptop, because you'll correlate it. So
Yeah.
when I'm
Of
talking
course.
about laptop, I mean server actually. Okay.
Okay.
So when you are deploying your application on 5 different servers, तो आपके पास 5 URL होना चाहिए, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
get 5 URLs, but Amazon has only one URL.
Hmm.
Spotify has only one URL.
Yeah.
All the web application, every application which is out there on internet has only one URL. Then how does that means, is it running on only one server? Not at all.
Hmm.
Is running on multiple servers. तो यहीं पे एक Kubernetes का रोल आता है कि Kubernetes is a wonderful container orchestration. Okay,
Right.
orchestra. So we might have seen various musical orchestra, right? So what this orchestra means? You know, synchronizing between every musicians and singers, isn't it right?
Yeah.
Kubernetes भी वही करता है. So you have 5 different servers where you are running the same application. Now Kubernetes is able to orchestrate all those 5 servers, and उन पांचों में एक sync, it creates a sync kind of thing, so that let's assume today your one laptop is down, your one server is down. Suddenly the load will, the whatever user is trying to access, so that user's load will go to different laptop, different server. And
Right.
तो यही orchestration basically we are achieving through Kubernetes.
राइट दैट वाज एक्चुअली अ वंडरफुल एनालॉजी क्योंकि मैंने भी इस वे में कभी सोचा नहीं था इस चीज को लेके सो दैट मेक्स इट अ लॉट मोर सिंपलर थैंक यू फॉर दैट while managing or handling cloud resources and or building a cloud project sometimes people don't really take into consideration of how expensive things can get so how exactly would you recommend to people who want to ensure cost efficiency while using crowd resources.
Yeah.
And if whenever it comes to a scenario like a hackathon, so how would you explain
Correct,
that?
correct. So I'll give my example here basically.
Yeah.
So when I was early, like when I was delving into this cloud infrastructure domain, sometimes मैं अपना free account create करता था, and then I, let's say I created one instance of server. I launched my application, whatever I was trying to do, kind of POC and all of my own, and then once I am done with that, let's say I have to go somewhere, I forgot to disable that configuration, disable that
Right.
server, and I forgot it for almost 30 days. And then next billing cycle, I got a huge amount as a payment which I have to pay to Amazon. So यहाँ पे आपको एज अ डेवलपर आपको ये फोकस करना है कि what are you actually trying to build. Okay,
Right.
if you are trying to build a application which should be like 24 by 7, should be accessible to the user, so obviously you have to have those minimum configuration. Yeah, again, you have to look into different aspects of the project, like आपका budget क्या है, then what is it you are trying to build, what is the type of solution, and most important, आपका user base, आपका focus किस किस type के user पे है. Okay, so let's assume that you have developed application which is very familiar, which should be very familiar in India, not across world, okay, apart from India. तो ऑब्वियसली आप ये चाहेंगे कि your server should be up at 6 o'clock early in the morning,
Yes.
and your server should be down at 10 p.m. max, right? सो ये आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि आपका एप्लीकेशन किस यूजर को फोकस कर रहा है, आपका एप्लीकेशन क्या चीज सॉल्व कर रहा है. So that you don't run into the scenario where you are unnecessarily paying. So best way I would suggest as a hackathon, because again, as this podcast is all about hackathon, so मैं hackathon से relate करूंगा कि see, right now hackathon is all about developing a POC kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So you are developing a POC. So maybe let's say you have got a small amount of time. So during that phase, you have to develop also, you have to test also, and you have to run also. So developing phase में अगर आप let's say कि आप तो अपने लैपटॉप में develop कर सकते हो, it's which
हाँ.
is fine, which requires very minimum configuration. उस टाइम पे अगर आप सर्वर को ऑन कर दोगे, लेट्स से you create your server at that phase itself, then it's unnecessary waste of your budget, right?
Yeah.
So while developing, focus on developing, and then once you are into testing, again you can test in laptop also. Now once you are into testing, once you are like let's say you are done with your project and you want to showcase it to others, अब आपको infrastructure का जरूरत है. तो now you can create at that time, you you have various options. Sorry. अगेन आपका प्रोजेक्ट कौन से कॉन्फ़िगरेशन पे ज्यादा एफिशिएंटली रन करेगा. लेट्स से यू हैव काइंड ऑफ, लेट्स से यू आर डेवलपिंग अ काइंड ऑफ एआई मॉडल which requires lots of GPU, not CPU,
Yeah.
GPU. So in that case, you have to focus on servers which are there in on cloud, कि जो आपको GPU अच्छे तरीके से प्रोवाइड करेगा.
Of course.
And then let's say if you are developing a kind of application which does not require these AI, all of processing, AI processing and all of those things, आपको GPU में ही काम चल जाएगा. तो then you have to focus on those area. Same is the case with RAM, which processor do you want. Then if your project needs a huge database, तो आपको वो भी consider करना पड़ेगा कि let's say I have a POC which in the back end it has to store lots of data, and it has to simultaneously it has to process all of those data. तो आपको फिर you have to go for server, along with server you have to go for some databases also. तो
Right.
ये सारी चीज आपको कंसीडर करने पड़ेंगे once you are developing a hackathon project. So basically at the end I would suggest in one line की एज आप अगर POC डेवलप करो, डेवलपिंग फेज में एंड टेस्टिंग फेज में यू शुड नॉट टच इवन क्लाउड. and then once you are into showcasing your work, go and deploy your things on cloud.
राइट तो आजकल हम लोग जब किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी की बात करते हैं बी इट क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग बी इट एनीथिंग आजकल इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ एआई इनटू दैट टेक्नोलॉजी इज बिकमिंग काइंड ऑफ अ ट्रेंड नाउ तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ एआई एंड एमएल within cloud platforms and how will this shape the future of cloud technology?
Yes, yes. Actually, I can say that cloud computing, I mean, cloud infrastructures and AI, one cannot exist without another. I can say
Right,
in one
it's a
word.
symbiosis.
Yeah, symbiosis. So why is it so? Because आज के डेट में everything is like data is everything.
Yeah.
ये केस 20 years 30 years बैक नहीं था. Like all the companies were focusing on their products as a as a whole, but these days all the company apart from the products, in fact product became the secondary point of concentration. Now everyone focus shift हो गया इधर आपका डेटा में.
Hmm.
So you have to have a huge data, और वो डेटा कभी ब्रीच नहीं होना चाहिए. That's the main aim of any company. Let's say I'm working in NetApp, and today NetApp is generating huge amount of data on a every millisecond. Okay,
Hmm.
and let's say it's not secured, so then everything is gone for a toss, right? So
Right.
मतलब उनका एम ही अचीव नहीं हुआ. तो फर्स्ट दे हैव टू फोकस ऑन डेटाबेस. तो आपको कौन सा डेटाबेस चाहिए, कितने कितने अमाउंट का डेटाबेस चाहिए, एंड देन ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट आपको, सो ये सर्विसेज क्लाउड ही आपको प्रोवाइड करा रहे हैं, डेटाबेस प्रोवाइड करा रहे हैं, एंड देन वंस यू आर स्टोरिंग दोज डेटा, आपको फिर से वो सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करा रहे हैं ऑन टॉप ऑफ दोज डेटा की. Boss, I am providing you the security so that your data is secured. Be sure that I'm taking care of all of your data. And then अब जब डेटा हमारे पास है secured way में, then I'll think of have some kind of data analysis on top of those data, right? Because
Right.
storing data does not make sense until and unless we have some kind of analysis done out of those data, right? तो अब डेटा एनालिसिस करने के लिए भी क्लाउड हमें हमें बहुत सारे सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, विच इज ऑलरेडी बिल्ट इन, दैट आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग यू दीज. ओके, यू हैव दीज डेटा. Now you decide out of these data what is that analysis which you want to done, which you want to do, and for that you let me know that this is what I want. Now I'll provide you the services which are related to that.
Right.
So AI and cloud computing is working hand in hand, so that now और इसका future इतना vast है कि in fact with in one line I told you that it's a symbiosis kind of thing. One cannot exist without another.
Right. It was a wonderful insight coming from you, and yeah, it's very true that they both share a symbiotic relationship with each other. One cannot survive without the other. So now, since we're talking about hackathons, I'm sure you've had some hackathon experience in your career.
Yeah.
तो मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि what are some of the common mistakes that teams and participants in a hackathon make while working with cloud services in such a short amount of time, be it 12 hours, be it 24 hours?
Yeah. So again, as I told you, my mistake, when I was a beginner in this domain, so you have to be very careful. Again, I'll tell you same thing. You have to be very careful. आप क्या करना चाह रहे हो? Let's say आप जब cloud, let's say server आप create कर रहे हो cloud पे, तो you will be prompted. अंदर से वो आवाज आएगी कि no, let's go for 20 GB. Let's
Yeah.
go for 30 GB RAM, the highest possible configuration.
Yeah.
You will think that okay, I am going to develop. So if you are not, as of now, that's why I told you that first you have to focus on developing it on your laptop, test it on your laptop. Because sometimes what happens is, as a hackathon participant, let's say I have decided, I have everything, I have that idea that this is what I am going to build as a my POC, or without focusing on my code, suddenly I moved on to cloud और मैं सर्वर क्रिएट किया. तो मैं तो अपने अपने पीओसी को बेस्ट वे में देख रहा हूं, राइट,
Of
अंटिल
course.
अनलेस इट इज नॉट बिल्ट एज ऑफ नाउ.
Yeah.
So 1 second. Yeah. So उस समय हमें ये लगता है कि सबसे मतलब ऑसम एप्लीकेशन हमारा ही बनने वाला है,
हाँ,
एंड based on that we are going to the cloud and we are configuring the highest possible configuration for our servers, right?
ऑफ कोर्स,
And so you are incurring the costs simultaneously.
या,
और बाद में आपको पता चलता है कि आपका जो पीओसी डेवलप हुआ है which could have run in the minimum possible configuration, राइट? तो आप अननेसेसरी उतना आपका जो बजट है वो इट्स गोइंग वेस्ट, इट्स वेस्टेड बेसिकली। सो ये जो है सो ये आपको कंसीडर करना पड़ेगा कि आप पहले कोड डेवलप करो, क्योंकि आप जब शुरू में आपका आइडिया व्हेन इट इज इन इंसेप्शन पीरियड, तो आपको लगता है कि आई एम द माय एप्लीकेशन इज गोइंग टू बी द बेस्ट वन।
या,
लेकिन आप पहले बना लो, आप पहले टेस्ट कर लो, देन यू मूव ऑन टू क्लाउड। एंड देन मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, आफ्टर हैकाथॉन इज ओवर, you have to clean your complete profile. You have to make sure that nothing is on, nothing is
या,
turned on, because later point in time you will have to incur the uh, yeah, you will have to incur the cost for that.
राइट। सो ये तो हमने की बातें अबाउट मिस्टेक्स दैट पीपल मेक एंड टीम्स मेक। नाउ आई आल्सो वांट टू नो कि आपके एक्सपीरियंस में थ्रू आउट योर करियर एंड योर हैकाथॉन एक्सपीरियंस ऐसा कोई सक्सेस स्टोरी वेयर people have used cloud computing efficiently and have significantly contributed to the entire field in general, or maybe a hackathon story regarding that.
Yeah, so basically, not I will not be like telling you the example of the when I was in college, because uh, we did not have this cloud. We developed kind of a POC which could have run on the laptop itself. तो उस समय
Right.
हम क्लाउड पे नहीं थे. But yeah, I will give you a recent example where my company conducted this hackathon, and that's why I love this company. Apart from your work, daily day to day job, they push you towards your creative ideas. तो
Of course.
वहां पे हमने पार्टिसिपेट किया था, एंड देयर वाज वन गाय हु secured the first position. तो उसने क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को इतने अच्छे वे से यूज किया कि नो वट एवर टेक्स्ट he wrote, okay, let's say he had few documents, and then he stored it onto cloud, and then he had built that POC. सो अभी चैट जीपीटी कैसे काम करता है, सिमिलर टू दैट, इट दैट एप्लीकेशन वर्क कि इफ यू सर्च फॉर एनी कीवर्ड, it will go to that your backend API will go to hit that cloud in storage, and it will scan through all of those documents whatever you have stored, and उसमें से best possible result को आपके स्क्रीन पे डिस्प्ले करेगा. Not only that, and वो like the one who secured the first position, he put his image there in the application, and it was it was like kind of key he is reading all of those text
Right.
on behalf of himself. Yeah, so ye mujhe acha laga, though we did not we were not able to secure top 3, but yeah, we are proud of like whatever we had done. Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure you were. Now, आजकल people are getting into cloud computing more than they used to, I think, 5-10 years back.
Correct.
Because आजकल even the youth, our generation knows about cloud computing. We know how it works. Maybe not the intricate details of the subject, but we know the overall
Yes.
criteria for going into cloud computing. So what advice would you give to absolute beginners on learning cloud technologies, and which platforms or certifications should they focus on that would help them get started?
सो एज अ बिगिनर, आपका जो सेकेंड क्वेश्चन था, मैं सबसे पहले वही एड्रेस करूंगा, बिकॉज if you want to go into something, you have to know a basic details of that first.
Of
Okay.
course.
So up suddenly you go and create your account, and you will be lost somewhere in between. You will
Yeah.
not be able to understand where to go from here, right? So first and foremost thing, you have to do at least a first level certification. So for an example, if you are well versed in, if you like, it depends on you. Every three giants will provide you the basic certifications. Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, they will all provide you. So it depends on you which certification you want to go in, but
Yeah.
you have to have one basic level certification, क्योंकि पहले certification में they are explaining you basically as a user, not as a developer, as a
Yeah.
user, what you are expecting out of those cloud infrastructure, और कैसे आप
Right.
बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे में उस क्लाउड को यूज कर सकते हो. तो मैं सजेस्ट करूंगा कि एज अ स्टूडेंट यू शुड फोकस ऑन first level, entry level certification first, because then as a user you are aware that okay, user wants this, and
Yeah.
then later on you can switch on to second level of certification. वहां पे आपको as a developer ये already आप you know that what user wants, and now
Yeah.
you are switching to thinking about cloud from the developer perspective. So आपको एक अच्छे तरीके से आइडिया है कि ओके यूजर क्या चाह रहा है, and then what should I provide those users.
Of course, that was a wonderful advice क्योंकि मैं भी cloud computing उतना अच्छे से नहीं जानता हूँ. I'm just getting into it. So that was very useful for me as well, and I'm sure my peers and friends are going to put that into good use. Now, since we've been talking about hackathons, our hackathon is coming up, AceHack 4.0, and hackathons में apart from creating and building a project, it's also very important to focus on other things like teamwork and
Right.
networking and just interacting with everyone, the mentors, the organizers, your fellow participants. It's important, right? So I want to know from you ki what advice would you like to give to our participants who are going to come for our hackathon to really enjoy the hackathon and not just focus on building their project and focusing on that part, but also enjoy the full vibe of the hackathon, because जो हम करना चाहते हैं is give them the best hackathon experience. So
Yeah.
we take care of a lot of stuff that includes a lot of fun stuff, a lot of food, and a lot of music and dancing and everything is there. So
Yeah.
आप उस बारे में क्या एडवाइस देना चाहेंगे?
ओके, मैं एक एक अच्छा मतलब एक सिंपल एंड अच्छा एडवाइस देना चाहता हूँ कि सी लेट्स से यू आर डेवलपिंग वन पीओसी. आप 3 स्टूडेंट्स का एक टीम है, तो आप एक गिवन टाइम में आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही पीओसी बना सकते हो, राइट?
Right.
अगर आप उसी पे फोकस कर रहे हो हमेशा, लाइक थ्रू आउट द टाइम, इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन दैट ओनली, सो यू विल बी एबल टू डेवलप योर बेस्ट पीओसी, करेक्ट?
Yeah.
बट मीन वाइल वॉट यू विल लूज, आई टेल यू. अगर आप खुद पे फोकस कर रहे हो, खुद के पीओसी पे, ऑब्वियसली यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन योर पीओसी, बट अगर आप वही सिर्फ कर रहे हो तो यू विल बी एबल टू डेवलप योर पीओसी,
Yeah.
फाइन. बट लेटर ऑन, लाइक अगर आप नहीं फोकस करते हो सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने पीओसी पे, एंड देन यू आर ओपन माइंडेड, यहाँ पे मार्क माय वर्ड, दिस ओपन माइंडेड. तो अगर आप ओपन माइंडेड हो, यू विल गो एंड यू विल सर्च फॉर व्हाट अदर्स हैव इन देयर हैंड.
Yeah.
आप वो कौन कौन से आइडिया पे काम कर रहे हैं. तो मे बी नॉट टुडे, मे बी टुमारो यू विल स्टार्ट ऑफ योर ओन पीओसी, हैविंग दोज सिमिलर implementing those similar ideas. तो ये तो हो गया आपके हैकाथॉन में. एंड देन अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, दिस इज द बेस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी टू build your network. You should have a good relationship with your mentors, because why they are mentor, because obviously they know at least uh,
Of course.
1% beyond what you know.
Yeah.
So you should be connecting with your mentor, so that they transfer all of their ideas to you. And then you should have you should be connecting to all the people who have participated in hackathon, because similar to you, they are also genius.
Of
So
course.
their ideas, like everyone, if everyone shares their own idea, it will be a, let's say, 20 ideas, 20 people sharing their own ideas, there will be 20 ideas. So yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be very open minded throughout this hackathon.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you because hackathons में जितना भी मेरा experience रहा है, it's very important to also build your network, right?
Correct.
सबसे बात करना, it's very important. So
Exactly.
thank you so much, sir, for sharing your wonderful insights with us. It was wonderful having you on our podcast,
Yeah,
and
same here,
thank
same
you so
here.
much for taking out the time.
So glad that I'm able to talk to you, all of those things, whatever I have learned throughout my 13 years of career.
It was wonderful listening to all of that. I had a great time. I hope you had a good time too.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Yes, 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 for
Thank
sure.
you for taking out the time, and thank you everyone for watching this episode of Hacker TV. We'll see you on the next episode. Until then, stay tuned, stay connected, and keep hacking.
Thank
Bye,
you
sir.
very much. Thank you, Sumit. Yeah.